I underestimated the power of like what a building could do for a mission of a place. I just really think that I underestimated that.
It's really opened doors for our kids as they grow that we just didn't have the space for before. We've always had the staff, and our staff is very equipped to serve their needs, but when you don't have the right tools, it's just really hard.
The mission. I think the thing that draws me most is what amazing things happen here to impact the lives of so many people.
You know, one of the biggest opportunities is right here, the functional living apartment. Our older kids now kind of have their own place where they can come and work on like real life skills. We always tell them like, you have the potential to, you know, live independently or live with support or to, you know, work as an adult or to volunteer in your community, but we just didn't really have the space to train them correctly. And, you know, here we are, we have a kitchen where they can learn to make themselves a meal. We have a bathroom where they can work on, you know, how do I get in and out of the bathtub by myself when I don't have somebody else around to help me?
I just think this space is incredible because there's enough space now that we're not standing or sitting on top of each other to where you can really have some conversation and just share life with people. This now gives us the space to really spread out, have a good conversation without feeling like everybody in the room can hear what we're talking about. And that's really, really important.
People in this part of the country have such a heart for people in need. Every single dime people said they would give to that campaign, they gave. And that's not usual.
The sky was the limit. Our therapists knew that, our families knew that. Everyone felt so great about moving forward into this expansion project.
She said 126 names are on our waiting list. And that was a pivotal moment for me as a board member to think 126 children need the help we can provide, but we don't have the space to provide it.
My favorite part of the new facility is Miracle Village. I think it is such a wonderfully creative and fantastic environment. Just walking into that space, children and adults alike have a sense of awe. It really inspires creativity.
The people who work here put their whole heart into it. Like, it's not like an 8 to 5 job. They don't stop thinking about it when they go home. It's, you know, it's a part of who they are and it's their heart.
I've seen a kiddo come in and their anxiety was just so high. They were so nervous about coming in and starting their feeding therapy session, and they were able to come into their office and just get started, and as the therapy session progressed, you could just see that anxiety melt away, and they started accepting new foods, they started touching it, they started putting it in their mouth, they started doing all of this stuff that was necessary for them to progress, and you could just, it was so great to see that happen in the comfort of this new space.
You know, what we do is hard. It's hard for these kids. We're asking them to do things that physically they're unable to do when we start, or that socially is really difficult. And when you can make it fun and when you can make it more interesting to them, it doesn't feel like work, you know? Like, what we're asking them to do is never easy. But when we've been given a space like what we've been given, I don't have to ask kids to come back to therapy. They want to come. They're not crying when they come in the door because they know they might get to go play back there. They might get to pretend to be a vet or pretend to be, you know, in a grocery store.
Turn Center has this long history of doing the best they can with what they have to work with. And so I can't wait to see all that gets done with what we now have to work with. This is not the life our parents would have chosen. And because of that, it's easy to get caught in survival and grief. And when we do that, we're not living our best possible life.
It really does take a village, and every person here worked hard because we all had the same goal, was to be able to serve more children and to serve them more effectively.
And that there are people out there that are willing to contribute and support this project. And you know what? They have come forward, and there's been so much excitement, so much gratitude, not only on our part, but on the part of donors. And we just cannot thank our community enough for believing in what happens here and wanting to support our children.
When you walk back into the gym at any given time during the day, there's a lot of people packed into like a really small gym. And as a physical therapist, a lot of what I do, part of my treatment is teaching kids to move. So whether that be to like propel a wheelchair or to roll or walk or stand, but movement just takes a lot of space.
And whatever we can do with equipment or space or support for continuing education, that's what we want to do.
Well, I'm deeply humbled by the generosity of people who just have a heart for kids like Haley. I get to tell this story in a lot of places, but I wouldn't have chosen this life. I was born into it when Haley showed up. And to just watch the number of people who have no personal or close connection to the special need world just give and give and give and love our kids unconditionally and our families unconditionally is it's really beyond words.
Thank you so much to the donors, to the City of Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle that has supported Turn Center. We wouldn't be here without you, and we're so grateful that you were willing to invest in us and know the great work that happens here.
I'm just so thankful to our community and our donors, the expansion project, all the new areas of our facility. It's really just an incredible opportunity for all of our kids.